Hey everybody, Greg Harrelson again with Century 21, the Harrelson Group, with my co-host Abe Safa, also with Century 21, the Harrelson Group. And as usual, we are sharing some additional information about the Myrtle Beach and surrounding area markets, real estate markets. So first of all, welcome again, Abe, and thank you for joining me.
Hey, Greg, my pleasure, as always.
Yeah. I don't even have to ask you how the numbers are, because I know there's same old story, no inventory. Sellers are actually laughing all the way to the bank because they're making a lot of money on their houses and everything in between. We'll share the numbers, but there's something new, interesting that we learned about, and I think you might know the name of it, but it sounds like government is constantly looking for ways to stimulate the market, get more people into home ownership. And I think in this particular case, you're going to share with us a new bill that's being introduced that, if it passes, it's going to allow firefighters, police, probably teachers. We call them heroes, actually. There's some programs out there called Homes for Heroes and things like that, where there's some easier financing terms, maybe some money down assistance and things like that help them buy homes. A lot of times they're first-time home buyers. But can you tell us a little bit more about the program that's being considered? This is not a rule yet. This is not passed, but it is something that, if it does pass, it could really stimulate sales across the country. I don't know how much more it can be stimulated, but let's just assume that more people will be able to qualify for loans if this takes place. So tell us a little bit about it real quick.
Yeah, I don't know if the market needs any more stimulation.
So we need inventory.
We need inventory, yeah.
Yes.
So there's already a bill, and we've talked about it in the past, that's in Congress right now that they're debating. I think there's actually two different versions of it for first-time home buyers and first-generation home buyers. So that one is already in the works. They're trying to pass it. So that in itself is going to generate a good bit more demand of potential buyers. But now there's a new bill that just got introduced. Let me make sure I get the name of it right. It's Homes for Every Local Protector, Educator, and Responder Act. Okay, so this bill is kind of doing the same thing with first responders, with heroes, as you and I like to call them, and helping them be able to buy a home. Okay, especially in this market. Now, many of you out there are familiar with VA loans. So with the VA program, if you're a veteran, you can qualify for 100% financing down on a home. So it's going to be the same, pretty much the same guidelines as what a VA loan is, but for this group of people. So 100% down, no down payment, allow people to get in and be able to buy a home. So it's another way to help out the firefighters and the policemen and the first responders, the heroes. But it's going to, if this passes, it's going to be more stimulating of this real estate market, which creates more buyers again into the market. Now, the people that are going to qualify for this, as of right now, it's police officers, prison guards, firefighters, paramedics, emergency medical technicians, and public or private school teachers will be eligible.
Got it.
For this.
Did you say nurses? I think you did.
I did not say nurses, no.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I'm kind of surprised that nurses are not in that category.
That doesn't mean they're not in it. I didn't see the article I read didn't mention them. But that, I would think, it doesn't say doctors either. Mm-hmm. So paramedics, emergency medical technicians.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is what I saw.
And just like any other bill, it'll get negotiated and thrown around from from a political standpoint, and eventually they come up with some sort of an agreement and it gets passed, assuming that it gets passed. But in this particular case, it's kind of like recognizing that there's these heroes out there, that there's EMS technicians and these firemen, and they're out there working hard and trying to protect us. But then they're also having difficult times based on the amount of money that they earn. They're having a difficult time buying property, especially today. Got to remember, a house that was $200,000 3 years ago is $300,000 or $290,000 now. So a down payment of 5% on a $200,000 house 2 years ago was, say, $10,000. Now a down payment on a $300,000 house, kind of like I'm just rounding numbers here, but now all of a sudden that's $15,000. So there was almost a 50% increase in the amount of money that somebody has to have saved in order to get into a home. Now, if they need 10% or 20% down, those numbers get much bigger. But the challenge is a lot of times the people that are in these fields, they're not seeing increases in pay that are helping them overcome the increased amount of money that they need in order to buy. So these programs are kind of, it seems like to me, are being designed to make sure that these people still have an opportunity to purchase. Now, there could be all kinds of conversations about, should they give 100% loans? We'll save that for another conversation, because that's a whole different, set of circumstances. But some of these people are having a hard time buying, and they want to move their families into properties. This could help them. I mean, the VA loans for those veterans out there that use them, those are tremendous opportunities for them to get into properties. And to have something like that for the other heroes that are not veterans and not military, that's a great benefit to those category of, or those groups of people.
Yeah. I mean, I love the bill. I mean, I think they all deserve help if they need help to buy a home, right?
Yeah.
Just like the veterans do. Their question would be whether this is the right timing to actually add more buyers to this market. We need more inventory.
Yeah.
But the way we're getting multiple offers on multiple homes right now, it's going to be tough. No matter what kind of help you're giving somebody, it's tough. So if you're competing with 100% down payment, or 100% loan, with the VA or this act, and you're competing against a cash offer, it's difficult.
Yes.
So in either case, they still have to deal with the current situation in the market.
Yes. I agree 100%. Well, good. Well, let's look at some numbers and see what we have.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's pop that up real quick on the screen.
Overall, we know the market's remaining hot. It seems like it's heating up now. I'd be interested to see if the numbers show it.
Yeah, I mean, it's still week after week, it's getting hotter and hotter, which it's hard to fathom. But yeah, I mean, right now, all single family homes inventory is getting really tight. Almost 75% of every single home on the market right now is under contract.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves, I mean, this number, if you do the math, it shows about 1,100 homes. But it's really not like that when you're out there looking, and if you want to pick a specific zip code or a specific community, it's slim pickings. Mm-hmm. So in most cases, what buyers are having to do is just kind of, do what we do, a safe search and just hope and wait for something to hit the market. Or, I mean, with us, we take so many listings within our office, we know in advance when something's coming. So that's helping a lot of buyers out as well. But it's tight out there, Greg. I mean, there's just nothing available for buyers.
Yeah.
Slim pickings.
Yeah. And I tell you, it's really fueling a lot of emotion, man. It's so. It's the other day I was talking to one of the agents this morning that in the office, and she had gotten a listing, and she put it on the market. And as you can imagine, there's just dozens of showing requests within the first 24 hours. I mean, within the first hour, there was already showing requests. Somebody made an offer. She had to present it to the seller. The seller just said, "You know what? It's over full price already. We're okay. We would rather not have to go through the process and wait to see if we get more offers." They accepted the offer, which is, based on their circumstances, was probably the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. The agent then takes the property, puts it into pending, cancels all the showings because there's no reason to show it. And the seller requested, "Could you please just cancel all those showings?" They were happy it's under contract. Then she started getting phone calls from the other agents, so angry for canceling those showings. Well, number one, it's not the agent's decision. That's the owner's decision. The owner has some health complications, and it was like a miracle that they could get their property shown and not have to go through 30 showings. They were satisfied with the money and all the other terms. And I was disappointed in seeing how many agents called and would say things like, "Oh, that's not right thing to do. How could you do that to us?" Which is just trying to represent the client. My point is this: there's a lot of emotion in the market. And that's because these agents are likely mad because now they've got to tell the bad news to their buyer. I'm sorry, that one's already sold. And they have to keep saying it over and over again. And then the buyer's getting frustrated and getting mad at the agent. So then the agent's getting mad at the other agent. When the reality is nothing can be done about this until we have more inventory. So when we see numbers like this, we also see the emotions run high. It's really unfortunate, but that's what we're experiencing in the industry right now.
Yeah, a lot of frustration out there. Agents and buyers.
Absolutely.
So the resale market, it's 68.69%. Last week it was 68.5%. So it ticked up a little bit. Again, a very strong. Homes are selling really fast right now. I mean, that's like the understatement of the year. New construction, you'll see, is even hotter. God, 81% of what's out there is pending. So there's not even a whole lot to choose from as far as new construction. It's just slim pickings out there, Greg, right now. It really is.
I see that.
Moving over to the condo market, 68% of all condos right now are under contract. So last week we started breaking that number down a little bit more, Greg. Differentiating between off the oceanfront and on the oceanfront. When we look at the condos off the oceanfront, we're at 79.6%. So four out of five condos that are out there right now are all under contract, which is insane. And then when you look at the oceanfront, it's 53.85%, which that in itself is a really strong number. It just looks small relative to all the numbers that we've been looking at.
Yeah, when you look at this, Abe. So I had a listing over at True Blue. It's a condo complex.
Yeah.
And I listed it at 259.9, which was a little bit higher. I actually, another agent was telling them 245, and I said, no, let's go 259.9. I wasn't trying to outbid the agent. I really believed that I could accomplish this for this group of owners. We listed the property. The darn appraisal came in at $235,000. Now, I do not agree with that appraisal because I know there's comps there. I think that they missed some things. But I did know that there was a possibility that we were going to have an appraisal issue. But the sellers and I talked about it and says, it's worth it to see how the market's going to respond. The buyer then made a request. I'm representing the seller. The other agent made a request that my seller come down. We decided not to come down, that we were okay with the transaction falling through because there was another sale that was going to close cash in the next couple of weeks that we heard about. And we said, well, we'll just wait till that closes cash and then there'll be a comp at our price and we'll sell it again and be okay. The buyer decided to go all the way up and make up the difference and pay the difference between their 259 and the 235 appraisal price. Right. And the reason why, I know why they did that because they know that this property is going to go back on the market. It's going to sell. It's going to appraise on the next appraisal. And if they don't go through with this and they want to buy in that building, they're going to have to pay that price or more anyhow. And all of this is what it looks like when we have such low inventory. It doesn't look like this forever. It won't look like this forever. But boy, this is the gap in time where we're literally able to sell properties more than bank appraisals are assessing value.
Happening over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that particular buyer, they know. I mean, so yeah, it's going to go up in price. 30 days from now, it'll comp out at that price. But
based on the trends, yeah.
And that buyer might not have a chance at all. Who knows how long before another listing hits the market.
Yeah.
In there.
And you're right, because there was no other 3 bedrooms on the market.
Right.
There was no 3 bedrooms, and they needed a 3 bedroom.
So oceanfront is still very strong. Looking at the land, 26.12%, up from last week, 25.5%. So it continues to get tighter and tighter week after week across the board. Yeah. Homes, condos, land, everything. It's just that kind of market.
Yeah, there we go. Well, there's the numbers again. And so we have not seen any reversing, and I've said this before, we don't see any immediate signs of relief for inventory. So it could get a little bit more frustrating for agents and for buyers, in the future. All we have to do, and like Abe and I do, when we're representing clients, we're looking out for their best interest. We want to make sure that we're talking to them, understand their goals, present them every single offer and opportunity that they have. guide them in the right direction to make sure that the offers match, the contracts match their goals. And from there, that's the best we can do. And we'll continue doing that. So if you need any help, feel free. There's our cell numbers right there. You can text us or call us, whether you're selling, buying, or not doing anything, but just wanting to have an update as to what's going on in your community. Please reach out to one of us and we'll be there to help you.
Be more than glad. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Greg, enjoyed it.
Bye-bye.